Hello, math magicians. It's time to talk to you again about partners in numbers. Remember, if I take any number, I can actually break it apart and put it into a math equation with addition, and I can even use it for subtraction. So if I've got the number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can decompose it. Remember, when I compose it, I make it. When I decompose, I break it. So if I start with 5 and I decompose, maybe I could break it so I've got 1 here and 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I compose it, I make it. When I decompose, I break it. We actually have a song about it. Let's sing it. I'm going to turn the camera now so you can see a whole bunch of numbers that have been decomposed. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at all those numbers. So we can start up here at 5. We can decompose 5 or break it down to 1 plus 4. Or we can have the other partners, 2 plus 3. That's for 5. Now what about 7? 1 plus 6, 2 plus 5, or 3 plus 4. 9 could be 1 plus 8, 2 plus 7, 3 plus 6, or 4 plus 5. 10 would be 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7, 4 plus 6, and 5 plus 5. So you can see that 5 only has 2 partners, 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. But if you get larger, if the number gets larger, they've got a lot more sets of partners. And then I did one more here. Here's 13. 1 plus 12, 2 plus 11, 3 plus 10, 4 plus 9, 5 plus 8, and finally 6 plus 7. So those are the partners for 13. There are so many partners for 13 because it's a teen number. The numbers are getting greater. The larger the number, the more partners it has. So I'm going to sing the partners and numbers song. And while I'm doing that, you're going to think about partners and numbers. And then I'm going to say one of these numbers. And you need to try to tell us which partner you could make, or which partner you could use to make that number. Here we go. Yeah. There are partners in numbers, and they're two of a kind. They go together to make a number, and they work all the time. A number can be made, a number can be broken, and I learned this in class with my red and yellow token. When I compose it, I make it. When I decompose, I break it. When I compose it, I make it. When I decompose, I break it. Now let's take some numbers and break them apart. If we decompose correctly, we'll end where we start. Get ready. Decompose 7. Find 7 on the board. Here's 7. Now with your fingers, what do you think you can do? Maybe you're not using fingers. Maybe you've got some Legos out. You want to take 7, count out 7 Legos, and then separate them into 2 different groups. So you've got partners. You can have 1 Lego and then 6 over here. Or maybe you've got 2 and 5. Maybe 3 and 4. Go ahead. Compose 7 and then decompose 7. Go. Now do it a different way. Now let's take some numbers and break them apart. If we decompose correctly, we'll end where we start. Go ahead and show me 10. So that means you need to compose 10, maybe put 10 toys in a row, small stuffed animals, whatever you want. And then break them apart. Start with 10 and break them apart. Here we go. 10. Your choices are 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, or 5 and 5. Go ahead and decompose. Now do it a different way. You've got some options. Do it a different way. How many times did you decompose 10? Hopefully more than once, because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choices. You can decompose any numbers. Parents, a great activity you can do with your children. When you're cooking dinner, whatever you might be doing, you can always just say, hey, here's some crayons. Compose, and then tell them a number. Compose 7. Now decompose it. One of our jobs is to know how to compose and decompose numbers all the way up to 20. So make it a little set. Maybe you can create a bowl or a bag with 20 objects in it. And then one day you can hand it to your child and say, compose 12. Decompose it. Now show me a different way. Your child is going to think really hard about numbers. And they're going to think about numbers that go together and start to make sense. And then we'll start learning more about math number families. Just like if I see a 1 and a 6, 7 comes to mind. I wonder why. Well, because they're all related to each other. It's a math family. Make that bag of 20 objects. Put it together. Let your child choose what the objects are. And then say, I think it's time to decompose some numbers. Go ahead and have fun with it.